Okay.
Sashi Puki Jukse Meto
Ram.
Rira Blingshi Nine Yempadi Sangye Shingdu Mikde Ulwargi Drokun Nandak Shingla Suparsho Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami Sangye Shudan Soki Shoknam La Yangshu Bardu Dakni Kyapsushi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ki Drola Penchir Sangye Drupar Sho Sangye Shudan Soki Shoknam La Yangshu Bardu Dakni Kyapsushi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ki Drola Penshir Sangye Drupar Sho Sangye Shudan Soki Shoknam La Yangshu Bardu Dakni Kyapsushi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ki Drola Penshir Sangye Drupar Sho.
Show. Okay. Now we do the quiz. Okay. I'm gonna reveal it. 准备好吗，银辉？
Okay.
Here we go. I think that's the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. Good luck. 英惠，
嗨，
你需要多时间吗
不需要。
？Okay. Is everybody else done? Están, how do you say?
Listos.
Yeah, but how do you say finished in the
Ah,
third person?
¿Ya terminaron?
Oh, yeah, Ion. Okay. Terminaron. Okay. Kelly's done, so we can start. Okay. Here we go. Clase 6. Clase 6. 课第六.
六课，
Say again?
第六课。
Oh, that way. Okay. 第六课. Thank you. Okay. Any questions about anything? I mean, it's Friday. We might as well party.
For the question about the different types of beings in the desire realm,
Yeah,
when they say the 6,
I knew it. I knew it.
like is it just 6 different levels of demigods and gods? Like what's the difference between the levels?
I knew what your question was. I'm like, she's gonna go there. There is definitely different kinds of gods. I mean, there's like this. Oh, that specifically said desire realm though, because there's form realm gods and desire realm gods. I don't remember the 6 types. Geshe-la probably went over it in class 8. The last time I did that was with Aldo in 2014, January. So it's been a little, right, Aldo? It's been a little while.
I'll look back at it.
I know, I could find it. You want to look? Let's
No,
look.
okay.
No, we're looking. You asked foolishly. Now look what you've brought upon us.
All right.
And I can
I'll look it up too.
Does everybody know what gopher is?
No, I don't know what gopher is.
You don't? Oh my god. Gopher is this the search program used by ACI, ACIP, commissioned by Geshe Michael. Code is written by one Ted Lemon. Okay, here we go. 6 types of, because I don't know, maybe it says pleasure beings. Geshe usually says pleasure beings. So how many hits we get? Oh, here we go. Sorry, Gopher acts a little weird sometimes. Hold on. Where does it say ACI courses? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. No. Well, we know it's in here. So how does Geshe-la translate it here? Geshe-la says 6 types of pleasure beings. Isn't that what I wrote? Yeah, it is what I wrote. Something's awry. I don't know what. Let's see. Oh, 6 types of desire realm pleasure beings. Here it is. That took how many seconds?
Amazing.
Yeah, so I guess. Well, now we can find here's the Tibetan. Du means desire, Hla means pleasure being, Druk means 6, and Na means those or types. Or no, it's all 6, and then Su is the postposition, and then Chewe. They can be divided into. So, I don't know. I don't know if we have an explanation of the 6. Let's see. The actual levels explains the diagram as being divided into 36 parts. Here we are, 8 cold, 8 hot, 8 cold, craving lesser pleasure beings, making 18, 12 continents, and 6 types of pleasure beings. Wait, let's see. Hold on, maybe. Nope. Nope. Huh. I don't see an explanation of them here, but now we go like this. So we have this. Duchlad druk. We'll just put this part because of the rest might be different. Now we're gonna look in the Sungbum, the Tengir. Sungbum means all the books from Tibet. Tengir means all the Indian commentaries that commented on Lord Buddha's work. And we'll keep the ACI courses because it could be in there, I guess. Still, let's see. Here we go. This is course 8. Imagine that. Here's what we're studying. The realm of desire may also be divided into 20 different classes of beings. Okay. That's just previous to what we just looked up. Next. That's the one. Here we go. Yay. This is in the reading to course 8 that we're studying, and it's page 62 of the reading. I don't know what reading it is, though. Okay, hold on. Just do that. Okay. Here we go. Sorry, I can't make it bigger. So it's one of them attains the first concentration level. Okay. I think that's the first one. The next one, oh, the second concentration level. So it's probably all 4 concentration levels. Oh, wait. Let's read the whole thing. The 6 houses of desire realm pleasure beings each then go through the same process one by one. One of them attains the first concentration level automatically. I think this is the cosmology. All right. Hold on. Let me look at my dictionary. I was wondering too, Kelly. So it's okay. It's not all your fault. Yeah, my dictionary just mentions it, but it doesn't say. It does the same thing. It's part of a list. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here they are. I found them. And the dictionary Geshe doesn't like, but they are the 4 great kings, the 33, which I believe are on the top of Mount Meru in Samsara, those free from strife, which is probably some kind of nickname for some class, those called joyful, those delighting in emanation, and those power over others' emanations. Oh, actually, we did this in the mixed nuts. Oh, now you're making me go to the mixed nuts books. Sorry, everyone. It's all Kelly McGee's fault. Not really. Here we go. I think there's a footnote on it in the mixed nuts. So Geshe-la's very smart. And anytime we have any kind of list, like the 6 of this or the 20 of that, he makes us make a footnote about it, because some smart person like Kelly McGee is gonna be like, what are the 6? You know? Like I hate on the news when they're like, this is the second most blank. I was like, what's the first? Tell me the first, you know? Or something like that. I just want to know. So hold on. I'm opening, what book is it? I'm pretty sure I know what book it is, because some nerd went to every mixed nuts class, which I recommend you going to, all of you, if you have time. What? I don't know if it's in here. Let's see. 6. Word 6 isn't even in here. Pleasure being. It's not updated. Oh, why is this one? No, I don't want that one. Oh. Okay. I have a backup plan. Rikpa Wiki is pretty good. Let's see what they say. So let's go on a journey to the internet. This is what happens when people ask me questions. So all you people out there who WhatsApp me questions, by the way, okay, do you think I give up? Do you think this ever stops? No. Until it's answered. Here we go. Rikpa Wiki. It's pretty good. Search Rikpa Wiki. Darn it. Nothing. 6 types of pleasure. Oh no, we've put God's. Nothing. All right, I got a backup plan. By the way, this stuff is really hard to find. A lot of it is only in Tibetan or Chinese or Sanskrit. That is why Geshe Michael wants you all to learn the ACI courses and learn Tibetan and become translators, okay? If you're wondering. I found it in the Chinese. I found it in the Chinese. Okay, here we go. Here it is. They use Rik instead of the Su Chewa, but Rik means class or type. Here we go. Let's see. 6 heavens of the desire realm. There it is. And here's the Sanskrit too, if you care. Yeah, the 4 Deva kings who guard the 4 quarters of the world. The heaven of the 33 gods. These are all hyperlinks for the explanations. Yama, the heaven where the god Yama resides. Okay. Tushita, The heaven of contentment where the Bodhisattva Maitreya is said to be preparing to be reborn in the world as the next Kalpa's Buddha. Nirmana Rati, the heaven where, the heavens where one desires are magic fulfilled at will. And then Paramniramita Vashavartin, the heaven one can partake of the pleasures of others. And also, in this realm, if I remember correctly, you can have your desires fulfilled, but you can't interact with the desires of other beings in that realms whose desires get fulfilled or something, or in adjacent realms or something. And in this one you can. So that's how those are divided. And there's all the Chinese and the Sanskrit, but not the Tibetan.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
This website, you need a password. Just put in guest if you want to check it out. And I will put this in the chat for Kelly McGee. All right. I did it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay. All right, very good. Good question. I actually knew that answer. I kind of memorized it and I kind of forgot it. Then I forgot I even memorized it. Okay. Here we go. So question 1, class 6. Name the 4 different kinds of sustenance and give examples of each. So we're still in the Abhidharma Kosha, written by whom? Not Aldo. I know you know Aldo. Who wrote the book we're studying?
Master Vasubandhu.
Yes. Ooh, very good. When was he alive-ish?
350 AD.
Who's his half-brother?
Master Asanga.
Wow. Gold star, Kelly McGee. Okay, here we go. So in the book, they talk about the things that keep you alive. And we're not in chapter 3 anymore, I don't think. I don't know what chapter this is. One of our friends, Stanley, is translating this book. And it's really big. And I think he's scheduled to be done in like 2046 or something. It's ridiculous. I forget when, but it's a long time. It's like 20 years or something. I think he's on chapter 1 or 2 or something, but it's 8 chapters. And I believe we're in chapter 5. I don't remember though. Okay, so the things that keep us alive: solid food, such as the food we eat. But you knew that, right? Here's the ones you probably didn't know about. Okay, stained contact. Okay, so when they say stained here, it's a technical term. In Tibetan, it's sakje. Sakje, sak literally means something like oozing or dripping, or like if you put like if you're eating, if you went to, what's that place called? What? Oh, exploratorio? How do you say it? Exploratorio?
Expiatorio.
Really?
Yeah, the temple, you mean?
Yeah.
The vegan tacos and everything? Yeah, expiatorio.
Oh, it's expiatorio? Oh, I heard it wrong all this time. So if you went to expiatorio, yeah, and you got those vegan tacos that are really good, and you got the pumpkin seed milk with them, which I recommend. But you got guacamole on them, right? And you're like wearing your favorite shirt and it like dripped out, or like the salsa dripped. That's sak. That's like some nastiness on you. Okay. And in the Abhidharma, they say everything in our world that's not like the Dharma is sakche, right? It's stained. So literally it's like stained, like something on your shirt, okay? And rekpa means contact. Where's word contact most famously in Buddhism?
Wheel of Life.
Yay! Woohoo! Nice, Aldo. You pulled it out. Which link for $0?
Is the pregnant woman.
Pregnant woman's not contact.
No, sorry.
It's like, isn't it the guys in the boat?
Nope, that's Namarupa. That's the.
No, it's the potter.
Nope, that's the second link. It's the sixth link. I forget the picture. Anyway, it's the sixth one. Anyway, okay. So this is cool. So this is like touch. So this might seem ridiculous, but my my qigong teacher, his wife is Brazilian, and in Brazil she used to go to like orphanages, like or maybe an orphanage, where there was all these babies that had been abandoned or something, you know, like they were without parents. And she said many of them would die. And we were all like, why? Because like babies will die if they're not held. Do you know this? And so because there's limited staff there, there's not enough nurses to hold all the babies long enough for them not to die. That's horrible, okay? But that's what Abhidharma is talking about. You need touch. And I remember Geshe-la translating, like even talking about like getting massages, and as I recall, in when he taught this in course 8 in the original recording. So I got a massage today because touch is very helpful for your sanity. You know, many people, you know, if you just isolate people long enough, they'll go crazy, right? A lot of people, unless they're like Buddhist monks thinking about compassion all day, right? Or they have some kind of training. Often people will just go crazy just from not having contact, even not having enough stimulation, right? Like contact with like the environment, which I think this might also refer to, although I'm not sure, because it says object, power, and consciousness, which is the actual process of contacting an object, right? Like sensing something. You know, the object is out there, the sense power, you know, picks it up, and the consciousness of that sense power, you know, translates it to the mind. So I don't know. Some people go nuts if they don't have enough stimuli. I mean, take someone's iPhone away nowadays, they'll probably hit you. So don't take someone's iPhone away. Okay, sustained movement in the mind, such as that consisting of hope that one is about to be fed when close to starvation. So I remember Geshe-la, Holy Geshe Michael used the example of, was that Geshe Michael? I think so. It might be one of my other lamas, maybe both of them. Like if you're in the desert, right? And like, say you're in the Sahara. You know Sahara means desert? So when you say Sahara Desert, you're saying desert. That's like Montaña Mountains. Anyway, I just learned that recently. I think it's funny. If you're in the Sahara and you're crossing it, and I don't know, maybe you're in Algeria, okay? And you're crossing it to to Mali, right? And it's huge. It's huge desert. And there's oases. Oasi. I don't know what's plural of oasis. In there. But if you're crossing that desert and you really think you're gonna die, like you just see sand as far as you can see, you're dying from exposure, from too hot during the day and too cold at night, and you have nothing to drink, then and you feel like all hope is lost, like there's no way you're ever gonna make it to anyone, you'll die. But if you're close to death and you see in the horizon like the glint of the sun on some, I don't know, something that must be made by a human, human made, all of a sudden you will have more energy. You'll make it that last little bit. Just the knowledge of knowing you're close. This is what they're talking about, like hope. I just recently finished this this big project. It was like, I don't know, it took a while. It took 6 years or something. But I think I did more work in the last 6 months than I think I did about as much work in the last 6 months as I did in the first 5 years. I don't know, something happened and I was like, I'm really close to finishing this. I'm like, I'm gonna finish. It wasn't, like in the middle, it was like, this is gonna take forever, but I was close enough to see the end. And that was this summer. And I was like, I'm gonna finish this. And I like planned it out. And I planned to be done on New Year's. And I finished on the 12th of January. So I did okay. But it was I had a glimmer of hope. I saw the end. I was like, that's it. We're going to end this thing. It's like that. I sped up. I think I sped up like tenfold or something. It was kind of weird. Karma, I guess. Karma from teaching Kelly McGee how many types of pleasure beings there are. Okay, so that's hope. And D, stained consciousness, such as the consciousness linked with the contact involved in the experience of pleasure. Okay, that's consciousness. You can't be alive without that. Next.
Wait, I have another question.
What?
Sorry. Is the stained in these like the same stained as when we talk about stained and unstained karma? Like this?
Yeah.
Misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's why things like the Dharma, like wisdom, are considered unstained. Everything that's stained basically leads to suffering. It might seem cool, but like a stained girlfriend would be like one that like eventually, I mean, that sounds weird, right? One that like runs out and even though it's amazing in the beginning, eventually it runs out or something like that. Or a stained body is one that gets old and dies.
But this is saying that we get sustenance from those things.
Yeah, you get sustenance from them.
It's like a continued desire.
Well, no, I mean, what happens when you eat? Are you hungry? Are you satiated forever? I mean, every time you eat, like you eating doesn't stop you from dying. It just means you're not hungry for a little bit. And like even the food itself could kill you, like you could choke on it or get food poisoning or something, right? So it's stained in the sense that although it does fulfill desire for a certain amount of time, meaning that it is constituted of good karma, that good karma must be stained because it's not lasting like the karma, like the good deeds of a Buddha or something, which lead to bliss, like everlasting or whatever.
So a Buddha would get sustenance from other things.
Buddhists don't need to eat, but if they did eat, there's a whole Lam Rim story about that. There's a Lam Rim story referring to the sutras, how the Buddha like ate like, what was it? There's a couple stories in the Lam Rim, but basically, yeah, whatever the Buddha would eat would be unstained because he's the Buddha. Got it?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, good question. Yeah, that's all Abhidharma talk. Okay, what is the function of these types of sustenance? Oh, well, there we go. Your question, Kelly McGee. They function to perpetuate this suffering life. As Sutra states, the 4 types of sustenance are the very root of sickness, cancer, agony. They help bring about old age and death. Well, there we go. And now the long-awaited 8 hot hells. Woo! Finally, I get to talk about the writhing and the pain and the heat of the burning. I should be one of those evangelical preachers, but for Buddhism. And if you do the karma, you will burn and burn in the hot hells. I don't know how they talk, something like that. Okay. I don't know, I guess she'll put the last one first. I don't know. That's the best one, so I'm going to start this one. So the let's just say the lowest, the highest level of hell, right? The easiest hell, like, is called revive, and it's like a what do you say? First player video game? That's what you call them, right? Like when you run around and you got to kill people and they're trying to kill you. I don't play video games anymore, but I know they're more popular than ever. Anyway, the first one is called Revive, and it's like that. You're basically like a gladiator, and you wake up and like all these people are trying to kill you, and there's like weapons laying around, like random things like pitchforks and axes and I don't know, tiki torches, if you know what I mean. And you can and you just have this overwhelming desire to like kill everyone around you, and they have the same desire, and so you just go around like butchering people and they butcher you, and it's just like a video game. Once you die, there's a voice that goes revive, and then you like reconstitute, and then you're alive again, and you just keep doing it over and over and over and over for like, I don't know, a long time. That's the first level of hell. That's the best one. That's the best you're gonna get, okay?
I think you skipped the first word.
No. Are you listening to my class at all? Geshe put the last one first. I skipped it because I'm gonna do it last. Aldo. Okay, next is lines of black or black lines. So tick means like a line. Knock means black. So so this is a good time. So in this one, hell guards come to you, and I think they use like burning hot irons, and they make lines in your body, like you ever see those charts for like different animal cuts, like this is the tenderloin, this is the shank, this is the, I don't know, rib roast or whatever they call that stuff, you know, and it shows you all where all the cuts are, if you, I guess for butchers, and or I guess if you're going in the, how do you say, carniceria? I always miss a vowel when I say that word. The meat shop, the meatery, the butcher shop. If you go in there, you have to pick which one you want. You're like, okay, I want the butt. Oh yeah, rump roast. Isn't that the butt? I think it is. I don't know why you'd want to eat an animal's butt, but everyone's got their thing. Okay, and so they burn these lines on you, and then someone else comes along and just slices you along these lines. And a couple of things about hell, okay? First of all, like I said before, you ain't got no hell mommy and no hell daddy. You're born into hell like fully formed, fully like adult, and you just jump right into the suffering, you know? You don't go through like elementary school and then middle school and then high school and graduate and then you start suffering, okay? I mean, all those things are suffering too, right? But anyway, and then so you just jump into these situations and there's like evil dudes, hell guards, and they just start burning you and stuff and then cutting you up. And then, first of all, apparently in hell, you think, oh, whatever, it's hell. It's supposedly more painful there. Like the amount of pain you can feel in hell is like hundreds of times more of what you could feel in a human body. Like a human body only, I mean, there's only a certain amount of sensation you can feel. Okay, trust me, I've tested it, and you know I haven't had like bamboo shoots under my fingernails or nothing, but I've done enough asana. Okay, and there's a certain threshold. I mean, otherwise, I don't know. I mean, you probably pass out or something. But in hell, supposedly, it's much higher, the amount of pain you can feel. And then you're able to keep consciousness without your body being like assembled, for instance. So weird stuff like that. And then even if you do like quote die, you don't disappear and like wake up as like someone's golden retriever or something. You just keep being reborn or just like not dying and like reforming and weird stuff like that. So it's like hell. Okay. That's Thich Nhat. Next is Du Jom. Du means to come together. Jom means to smash. Who's a Drachomba? 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 Who smashes the enemy?
Arhat.
Yes, Arhat. In Tibetan, they call it Drachomba, that being who smashed the enemy. Ari Hat. Hat means to hit in Sanskrit. Ari means enemy. Okay? It also means lion in Hebrew. So not lions, okay? Enemies. All right. So in this world, this says hell guards gather beings. So the hell guards like put you supposedly in between mountains. And they gather you up between these mountains, and the mountains look like the heads of the animals you ate or something like that. It's really bad. And then when you're all gathered up in like in a group between these mountains, the mountains come together and they start crushing you and they smash you. And I guess it really hurts. I don't know. It doesn't sound bad, but it's horrible. Okay, next level down is called screaming, which is in Tibetan. Scream. I think I should just call it scream sometimes. Scream and big scream. So this one, I believe it's like a room and you can't get out of it. And it's made of iron and it gets real hot. And then you try to run and get out of it. And then like your legs burn off. Wait, hold on. No. I'm sorry. That's heat and superheat. This is just a plain. It's just like if you were in like Kansas or something, like you know, Kansas or Nebraska or like Manitoba, I guess you can like see really far in the distance, but it's just a plain of iron and it's burning hot and there's just people running everywhere like like freaking out because it's so hot and they're just in horrible pain and you're just trying to run. You're just like, oh my God. And like your legs burn off and then your body burns. And then you like die and then you like wake up again in a new body. And then you're just running and screaming. And it's horrible. And the next level up is the same thing, except it's worse. It's more screamier. Trust me, it's bad, okay? It sounds bad, but it's horrible. Okay, and then the last two are heat and superheat. Heat is the one I was thinking scream was. it's like this room, and yeah, it just gets blazing hot, and you're trying to escape it, and you just die in this horrible heat. And then superheat is the same thing, except the room is, I think it's smaller, or it seems like, or there's like a door, and then you go into the next room, and it's just like a smaller room or something. It's like torture. It's this horrible heat. You just keep dying. Okay, Aldo, here we go. And then for some reason, Geshe put the last one first. I don't know why. And the lowest hell, which is the hell you go to if you do any of the 5 misdeeds, which are killing your mother, killing your father, killing Arhat, drawing blood from the Buddha with evil intent, or making a schism in the Sangha, the Buddha Sangha specifically. Although making schisms in your Sangha is not a good deal either. It's called no respite. In Tibetan, narme. Oh yeah, there's a funny thing about this translation. Narme, it means without. Oh, it means without relent, or I forget. It's an interesting double how the negative is used. But anyway, you're in pain. You're basically, you're in fire that's so hot that if someone saw your body, all they would see was a fire, and that they would only hear like a murmur, which is your screams of agony, and they barely could make out a silhouette of like a humanoid figure in that fire, and you're there for like a billion years, and it sucks. Okay, and there's other kinds of hell too. There's like lesser hells or near hells. Well, because say Scream, for instance, like one day you'll be in Scream, and then all of a sudden you will find a way out. All of a sudden there'll be a door, and you're like, oh my God, and you'll find your way out. But then you'll just end up in like this swamp of dead bodies, and it's like not quite hell, but it's kind of like hell. And then you end up in a forest where the trees are like these horrible thorns, and these razor beak crows peck your eyeballs. So I swear this is exactly what it says. It like that, because it means your karma for being in hell is disappearing. So all of a sudden you find a way out, right? Just like your last day job, all of a sudden you found a way out. The bad karma of having your day job ended, and the good karma of your next job started. Hopefully good karma. Okay. All right, that's enough about hell. Kelmigi's turning colors, and I don't want people to run away. There's still 4 more classes. Okay. What is the length? Is there any questions about hell? So those are the hot ones. Remember, there's cold ones too. The cold ones are like, you're cold, you're colder, you're much colder. And then, boy, are you cold? And it goes like that. And there's like fun names for them. Like, yeah, it's all coldness. Anyway, what is the length of time that a person must accumulate the collections of merit and wisdom to become a Buddha? Okay, a Buddha occurs from the act of accumulating merit and wisdom for a period of 3 countless numbers of these great eons. Okay, so countless is a number in Buddhism. It doesn't mean that it can't be counted. It's just literally like, it's just a name for a number. Trang means to count. Mei means not. We just had it in Narme, the name of that hell. No respite. Anyway, that number is 10 to the 15. Wait, if it's got 59 zeros, wait, if it's 10 with 59 zeros behind it, is that 10 to the 59th or 10 to the 60th? I don't know. 10 to the second is 100. So I guess it's 59. Yeah, it's 59 zeros. So is it 10 followed by 59 zeros, or is it 1? Anyway, there's 60 zeros. Buddhism has names, sorry. Buddhism has names. Oh yeah, I think it's 1 followed by 60 zeros. Yeah, that's right. Or 10 followed by 59. Okay, I figured it out. Buddhism has names for, I think they have every number. It's in my dictionary. I will not look it up because you guys will fall asleep. It has names for every number, just like we have, 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. Buddhism gives discrete names for every number from 1 to 10 to the 60th. And then I believe it goes in the other direction too, from 1 to 1/10th, 1/100th, like that. Like they all have their each individual name. Chinese too. I found some crazy names in Chinese. It's like, I don't know. When I was a kid, I memorized the English ones. It goes million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, sexillion, septillion, octillion, noinillion, decillion, undecillion, duodecillion. And that's how far I got to duodecillion, okay? Which is like, I guess, one with 35 zeros, okay? And that's pretty high. No one cares about undecillions, by the way. So for some reason, Buddhism went all the way to 60, which is incredible, okay? Anyway, that's how long it takes to become it takes 3 countless numbers of great eons. But a great eon, there's really no way, unless, it would take calculus and you would have to know the slope, but we don't know the slope of this next question to actually calculate how long a great eon is. Because a great eon is not like a number. It's actually based in this. It's based in human lifespan going from 80,000 years and having bodies of light to going down to an average of 10 years. And that's a whole thing. And that's a whole long thing. But I don't think it's possible to actually calculate it because you don't know how long you don't know the slope, right? You know what I'm talking about? Go to calculus class. Anyway, describe the periods during which Buddhas appear in the world. Buddhas never appear while the average lifespan is rising, for during this period, beings feel disgust with the circle of life. Rather, they come during the time that starts with when lifespans drop from 80,000 years, and which continues as they go down until 100 years is reached. Buddhas do not appear subsequent to this period, as lifespans are decreasing even further. Since the 5 degenerations have spread fairly widely by this time, beings then are no fit vessels to receive the teachings. Yeah, so generally, nowadays, about how long do people live?
80 years.
Yeah, 80-ish. If someone gets to 100, that's like pushing the limit, right? That's like a big deal. And once in a while, some like Chinese guy or Okinawan or something gets to 117, and people are like, what? Or Costa Ricans. Costa Ricans are some of the longest lived people. Okinawa, Costa Rica. There's a place in Southern California, all these Christians who eat well or something. A couple of they call them blue zones. I don't know if you guys ever heard of those. Where I studied them because I'm a dork. Where a lot of what do they call them? Centurions, like 100 years.
Centenarians.
Is it?
I think so, because it's octogenarian for.
I know that, but I don't think it's centenarian for 100.
Oh, okay. You're probably right.
You can check me though. But I know about octogenarians and septuagenarians and stuff. Anyway, people that live around 100. So guess what time we're in now?
This time.
Yeah. After this, the Buddhists are like, nah, this is not even worth it. So this is it, everybody, okay?
And the US lifespan is decreasing.
Of course it is. There's no healthcare. Duh. Yeah, it's decreasing. Okay. Yeah. You're supposed to ask a question, Kelly McGee.
What question am I supposed to ask?
What are the 5 degenerations?
What are the 5 degenerations?
I thought you were gonna ask. The 5 it's a degeneration of lifespan, a degeneration of morality,
Mhm.
degeneration of, I had them memorized. Ugh, I'm rusty. I think hold on, let me look. I think you say Nick is degeneration, I believe. Huh? Ugh, Nikma. Ooh. Yeah, good. Nikma. Okay.
I have them
Where'd you find them?
in my old notes. I won't have them as exact probably as you have them.
Yeah, and I don't have the full out explanations of them, but it's a generation of mental afflictions, of lifespan. They say of sentient beings, of time, and of views. And a couple of them are technical definitions. But basically, no one's practicing Buddhism anymore or any kind of morality. They think everything's fake news and they storm on their own capitals. I don't know if we're in that time or not, but it seems possible. Okay.
Food loses its ability to be nourishing, or
Okay.
dead people are not virtuous.
Yeah.
Human life is fragile and it's easy to die.
Yes.
People are not attracted to doing good,
Yes.
and we have lousy bodies.
Oh yeah, those are 2 I mix up: the lousy bodies and then human life is fragile. So yeah, one is life is fragile and one is the bodies are fragile themselves. Okay. Thank you so much. Right on. Okay. Okay, so now this course isn't all about hell, unfortunately. It's also about how to not go to hell. And there's a practice in Buddhism called death meditation. Where's Rivas? Is he partying or something? I want to offer him some money. Okay, anybody? I taught you this in course 13, okay? The name of this meditation, why is the name of this meditation correct? And in other cases, the name of it in Tibetan would be incorrect. Chiwa mi takpa. Okay, no money, but I'll tell you part. It's called the impermanence of life meditation. Mitakpa. Takpa mitakpa. What's takpa mitakpa mean?
Permanent and impermanent.
You want to go with that translation, Mr. Aldo?
Or changing and unchanging.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So mitakpa can mean changing, but it's wrongly translated as impermanent, like in the case of like emptiness or something, right? Because emptiness is something that's unchanging, but it's not permanent, right? But in the case of this in this meditation, it's talking about the impermanence of life, which is a perfect translation, right? We talked about it in course 13. No one remembers. Fine. Okay. So this death meditation, it's not, there is meditations in the Abhidharma where you are supposed to actually meditate on how like disgusting your body is. They call it like ugliness meditation. And like how it's just made of like this gross stuff and you're basically just like poop and blood and it's all disgusting. Bleh. And like, therefore you shouldn't have desire for like, you know, beautiful women and stuff like that. Okay. That's literally what they use it for, to stop desires. So it's not that you're gonna die, therefore you think of like death in some morbid way. This meditation is, or this contemplation is not considered, it's not morbid. It's actually to get the most out of life, right? We've all seen movies like the hero, or I guess the protagonist or whatever, finds out they're gonna die, right? You have a week to live. And then they like go and start doing all this really cool stuff, right? Bucket list. They start knocking things off their bucket list. They go bungee jumping and, you know, try to become an astronaut. And, you know, there's a montage. Okay. There's always a montage. And then like right before the end of the movie, they found out they're not gonna die. And they're like, oh my God, I'm not gonna die. But I feel like I finally lived. You know, that kind of thing. So that's what this is like. This is death meditation, or understanding the impermanence of life, is understanding that you could die at any time, therefore you should live in a certain way, right? You should live as if you could die, therefore getting the most out of life, because you are going to die. You can die. When are you going to die? Look around your room right now, wherever you are. Point to one thing in the room right now that could stop you from dying. Exactly. Nothing. Point to one thing in the room that couldn't be used to kill you. If you point to anything, you're not being creative or enough, okay? Everything in your, everything, the number of things that could kill you are pretty much infinite, okay? I mean, if swallowed, if you slip on it, if someone hit you with it, if you were suffocated with it, you know, not to get too morbid, but you understand. So that's what it's like. Understanding that the things that could keep you alive are few, and the things, and those are stained, right? And the things that could kill you are many, and those are also stained. Okay, so you could die anytime. You don't know when. You're definitely going to die. And what are you going to take with you when you die?
Just your seeds.
Yeah, just your seeds, right? What did Jesus say? He said, why gather up things on earth for for moths to eat and rust to corrupt. Meaning all that stuff that you're living for is just going to end up being rusty crap and like moth-eaten rags. Okay, I mean, you know, dress fly while you're well, you can, but don't focus on it so much you don't do your practice. That's all. Okay. Or turn your clothes into your practice. That's a whole thing. Anyway, here we go. Here are the 4 steps in the contemplation of death. Consider the problems of not meditating on death. You won't live a good life, first of all. Consider the benefits of meditating on death. You'll get everything on your bucket list done, including enlightenment. Identifying just what kind of death awareness we seek to develop. Okay. This is like, basically what I was saying. Like, we're not trying to, this isn't even necessarily meditating on how to die. That's a whole other meditation. Aldo will teach you. He's quite good at it. That's a whole other meditation. This is just meditating on the fact of death, and okay? And you're not trying to get some like morbidity or even fear. It's more just an awareness of your situation. What did Lord Buddha say? What kind of situation are we in? What is it like? It's like a house. What's the condition of the house?
It's on fire.
Yeah. Meaning, I mean, how long you got in a house on fire?
Not long.
Yeah, it's a house on fire, and your smoke alarm battery wasn't changed, okay? Meaning it's filling up with smoke and carbon monoxide, and you're just like, la, la, la. I heard dying by carbon monoxide is actually kind of pleasant. You just kind of like drift off or something like that. That's how you are. You're like, oh, my meditation's going so well. Yay. Like, it's like that, okay? Don't commit suicide, especially by carbon monoxide. I'm not endorsing that. I'm just heard, okay? And how to meditate and develop this awareness of death. Okay, so actually how to do the meditation. Okay, describe the awareness of death, which is not the one which we seek to develop through meditation. Okay, this is what I was just talking about. Here we go. There is a kind of terror that a person can feel when he or she fears that they are about to be torn away from their loved ones and such. All right. This fear stems from a very strong attachment for those around you and is the natural fear of a person who has never attempted any kind of practice of the path. As such, it is not the awareness of death we are talking about having to develop here. Okay, we're not trying to freak you out. That's not the point. But can you imagine? Okay, I just had a loved one die recently. And that was just one person leaving my life. Okay, imagine if you're dying, all of them are going at the same time, including your body and all your cool clothes. Wait 1 second. Yeah, it would freak you out. And that's important to know about, but it's not what we're talking about here. Okay, that's not the death awareness we're talking about. Okay? All right. And this is, I think, course 6, we talk about different attachments at death, right? Jikse, Susei, and Jikse, Sisei, and Dusei. Fear at the time of death, desire at the time of death, and and the other one, I forget. Okay, here we go. Describe the awareness of death, which is the one which we seek to develop through meditation. Okay, this is, how many more we got? Okay, that's how long for my movie. Okay, here we go. There is not a single being who has taken on a body like ours one created by the force of our past deeds and mental flexion, who is exempt from the absolute certainty of death. Okay? This isn't to say that you can't get a different kind of body that doesn't die, okay? Okay, Tantra wink wink. It is true that in the short run, trying to develop some fear about this fact might not enable you to stop it, okay? Nonetheless, you really must try to develop some fear that you might die before you have been able to achieve your goals for your future life. That you might die before you have managed to put an end to anything that might cause you to be born in one of the lower realms, or before you have achieved all those things that would lead you to the higher realms and to ultimate good. Okay, and if you're wondering if you've done that or not, you haven't. Sorry. I mean, maybe you have. I don't know. Any like lamas that I've met or anything that are close to that, they know. Okay, that's why I say that. Okay, Hero, I don't know how far back you want me to go. Nonetheless, you really must try to develop some fear that you might die before you have been able to achieve your goals for your future life. Yeah, Hero, I'm just wondering in this is far back enough? Or you want me to start over? Sorry, the translator's telling you to slow down. All of it? Ah, fine. Here we go, everybody. This is for the Spanish speakers. There is not a single being who has taken on a body like ours, one created by the force of our past deeds and mental afflictions, who is exempt from the absolute certainty of death. Okay? You're gonna die. It is true that in the short run, trying to develop some fear about this fact might not enable you to stop it. Nonetheless, you really must try to develop some fear that you might die before you've been able to achieve your goals for your future life. Which is Buddhism. In Buddhism, what makes you a Buddhist?
Refuge.
Yeah, what does that mean?
That means in a moment, I see it's coming from me, not from you.
That's true. But the most base form of refuge is knowing that you have a future life and preparing for it. That's the foundation of Buddhist refuge. But what you said was right too, Leah. That you might die before you have managed to put an end to anything that might cause you to be born in one of the lower realms. Yeah, the most basic refuge is you don't want to die and go to a lower realm. Or before you have achieved all those things that would lead you to the higher realms and to ultimate good. Okay, Hero. Just going to read it for Hero. If you had this kind of fear over these kinds of things, then it would help you to do something about them. And at the moment of death itself, you would have no reason to be afraid. This is what it says in the Lam Rim, so I can repeat it. This Lama was like, why would I have any fear of death? I'm just going to become a Buddha. Why would I be afraid? Becoming a Buddha. Okay. That Lama had a very good tantric practice, I suppose. If, on the other hand, you find yourself unable to achieve these goals, then when death comes, you will be tormented by regret of two different kinds. In a general sense, you will realize you are unable to free yourself from the circle of suffering life. More specifically, you will begin to feel sheer terror over the possibility of having to drop into the realms of misery. Realms of misery just means lower realms. What are the 3 lower realms?
Animals, pretas, hell beings.
Yes. Okay, when we say animals, we're not talking about being Kelly McGee's golden retriever, okay? That would actually probably be okay. We're talking about, being on the Serengeti and being hunted day in and day out. Have you guys ever watched birds? Okay, maybe not the pigeons in Washington Square Park because they're a little different. But I used to watch birds pretty often. What do birds do?
They're always looking around.
Always, always, always. Why are birds looking around all the time?
They are scared.
They're scared that something's going to eat them. A cat, a hawk. They're either looking around or they're trying to eat. They go like this. Watch. This is how a bird acts. Food, eat. And then, food. Oh, someone's coming. Fly away. So they're either running or looking to run or trying to eat fast enough while they're looking to run. Okay? That's the animal life. Anyway, but golden retrievers, they seem to.
Sorry, can I ask one question? Scroll up.
What?
Can I ask? Or later.
可以.
Okay. Why do you want to develop fear? I mean, you scroll up. Question 8.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Like,
I'm
why do you want to try to develop some fear that you might die before you have been to achieve your goals? Isn't it when we do things right, have to be like simple, fun, and easy?
Yeah, of course. But like, I mean, how about this? Chinese people are some of the best. They're the best at saving money in the world. I think Japanese people are a little bit better than them, but Chinese people are very good at saving money, right, Yinghui?
I think so.
They are. They're some of the best in the world. I study these things. I don't know why, but I do. And so, why would people want to save money? Why is it so important that they save money?
For Chinese, I think they want to leave it for future generations.
I mean, that sounds nice, but what about them? Why do people want to have money when they're old?
They're scared. They're scared. Yeah.
Yeah, they're scared they're gonna starve. Like you won't be. When you're old, you can't work.
Yeah, that's true.
If you have no money saved, you're dead. Or on the street or something horrible. I've heard horrible things. I'm not going to say on YouTube right now, but some old people have to do horrible things to make money when they're old. Okay, you can think about that. Okay, it's like that. You don't want to, out of negligence, when you have a chance, not do what it takes and then put yourself in a bad situation. So human life is very precious. Okay, I'll explain. Since Jinghui asked, I thought I was going to get to bed early, but I guess not. Okay.
Thank you.
So one day the Buddha's disciples asked him, Lord Buddha, you keep telling us about these lower realms, higher realms. We can't see them. But tell us this. How many of us are gonna go to a, how many of us are gonna be born human again? Something like that. Was it like that? Or how many of us are gonna go to these lower realms? I forget. How many of us are going to this lower realm?
How many will go up, no?
There's two parts. First is, I think, down, and then second is up. I like it this way. So if it's the other way, then I'm changing it. Okay. So Lord Buddha, he like took his finger. So in English we call it a mote, M-O-T-E. He put his finger on the ground. He picked up one mote of dust, of dirt. He said, for every other piece of dust in the world, every piece of dirt in the world, proportional to this one, that's how many people are going to go to the lower realms. And that's how many are going to stay human. So 1 to a jillion, billion, zillion. Okay? And then they were like, well, how many of those humans are going to go up to a higher realm? He's like, same proportion. Meaning for every jillion humans, 1 would become a pleasure being. Okay, meaning that if you're born human, you have a very, very precious chance, according to Buddhism, of being able to do something with that life. Because animals can't read, they can't study, they can't meditate. According to Buddhism, they're too dull to practice. Hell beings they're suffering too much to practice. Pretas, craving spirits, are too hungry to practice. Pleasure beings are in too much pleasure. They don't care. Demi-pleasure beings, semi-pleasure beings, demigods, they're too busy being jealous about the pleasure beings having more than them. So humans is a perfect mix of just smart enough, just enough good, just enough bad to be able to practice. So they say being human is the best thing to be born as to practice the Dharma. Now, I don't know if they just say that to make us feel better, because we don't know any better, or if it's the truth, but that's what they say. So if you're going to be born, if it's really the chances of being born human are that low, that means, and once you go to hell, you could be there for a jillion, zillion years of suffering. You should be afraid, very afraid. But in the meanwhile, practice very happily, okay?
Thank you.
Bukachi. 9, name the 3 reasons behind the second principle of death meditation. Contemplating that there is no certainty when we will die. And this one's funny. I hear it all the time. Like, in the back of their mind, it seems like almost everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to get old. I'm going to live to be, 80-ish. The average lifespan is 80. I don't know. What's it for men in the US? It's like 80 or something, right? The Japanese got a little better. The Japanese is like 88 or something. I think they have the highest average lifespan in the world. And it varies throughout countries, right? But anyway, why do people think, for everyone living to be 100, there's some baby that just died. Unfortunately. That's how average works. Just because everyone know what an average is. If the average is 80, that means like 3 people live to 100, 1 lived to 80, and 1 lived to 1 day. You do the math. That's about, I don't know, what's 80 times 300 plus 80 is 380 plus 0 divided by 5. Yeah, it's like 78 or something. Right? So Kelmigi's got the right look on her face, okay? This is the look of someone who's like, oh crap, he's right.
It's too late at night for that kind of math.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the math. It was 76 was the math. I'll teach you math tricks too if you want. But basically, you don't know. Average lifespan is average. I mean, we've all had people die on us, right? Somebody in your life. There's always that one kid in elementary school that goes, and you're like, oh my God, ugh, right? But everyone thinks it's not going to be them. I don't know why. It's some like human thing. It's going to be you, okay? And what did Pavanka Rinpoche say about all the people in the room? He gave that teaching, the Lamrim liberation thrust into the palm of your hands, in 1928, I think. Ugh, forget. He said, none of you will be alive in 100 years. How many people do you think are alive from that teaching? I mean, maybe there's one dude, right, who was like a baby who was brought in, but they're all dead. Everyone in this class will be dead in 100 years or less. Unless you do your practice. Okay. So they say on this continent, which is called Zambu. Why is it called Zambu? Zambuling.
Because there are like these fruits like apples that fall to the water and they make this sound like some boop.
Zambu. Exactly. That's exactly right. Very good, Aldo. Thank you. They say on this continent, which is the southern continent of the four, lifespans aren't fixed. But on the other ones, apparently some of them are fixed. Like there's one of the continents, I think it's the northern one, is called the continent of unpleasant sound. Does anyone remember that one? So I thought there was, I always imagined there was like some squealing noise that was always going on, like, or like some like chalkboard sound. And it was like, but it's not. On this continent, they say that when you reach a certain age, you hear a voice in the sky and it's like, you will die tomorrow. That's the unpleasant sound. Isn't that funny? I mean, not funny, but not ha funny, but anyway. So, and then supposedly in certain places, it is fixed. I think the cattle one, the continent of great cattle or whatever, it's like 500 years exactly. Like all the other ones supposedly they're fixed. So Geshe goes over it in the Lam Rim course, maybe in this class too, I forget. Anyway, the things that can kill you are very, very many, whereas the things that can keep you alive are very few. All right? It's like being homeless. You think, oh, I would never be homeless. I'm great. You think all those homeless people thought they were going to be homeless? It takes like 3 things for you to be homeless. Your family dies. You lose your job. You're homeless. That's it. I said 2. Maybe you could throw a third one in there. I've heard people have had like horrible fires. They lose everything. They have a mental breakdown. They lose their job. They're homeless.
Alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, alcoholism, drug addiction. I don't know. You get some medical condition in the US. I mean, that's it. I mean, you have like, you ain't got your Obamacare or whatever, you're done. Anyway, I should get my charger. My phone, my computer might die. Hold on. this is what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, everything around you could kill you. Almost nothing could keep you alive. There's like 3 things in your house that could keep you alive: air, water, food. Everything else is deadly. Yay, good times. I know this is great. Our bodies are extremely fragile, especially Kelly McGee. Why are our bodies extremely fragile?
Why?
Yeah, especially during.
Oh, the time of degeneration.
Yay! Exactly. Good job. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you could literally die from a pinprick if it gets infected or something, right? Or if you swallow. I mean, I'm not a parent, but I've heard it's horrible when they start crawling because, like, they could eat any like they could die any second, like all day. Like if you watch like 24 hours a day, like you have to baby proof everything, like all the stuff in your house that you don't think about, like the Windex, the electric socket, the vase on a table they could pull down. Everything becomes like a deadly like weapon. All of a sudden, you're like, you have to like change your whole house. He's like, put rubber coating on everything and baby proof, right? Because but you think you're stronger, but people die. I mean, they slip. I mean, you slip. I mean, if your neck goes the wrong way, if you hit someone here hard enough, they'll die. You don't have to. There's points on the body. If you hit someone hard enough, they'll just die. Done. And that's a whole thing. I mean, we can study that too. Okay. Body is extremely fragile. State the 3 resolutions that we should make after understanding the 9 reasons for the 3 principles. Woo! Okay. Anyway, we didn't go. I don't think we go over all 9 in the review, and I'm not doing the 9, but I will do this. Knowing that we shall have to die, we must resolve to begin our practice. Okay. What's the first step in beginning your practice?
Deciding we want to do it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe the second one then.
So I guess that's not like sitting down in the cushion. We're not just talking about meditation.
Well, what are you going to do on the cushion? How do you know what to do?
We put our mind, we study, we put our mind where we want it to go.
Study. What are you going to study?
Study the Dharma.
Who's going to show you that?
Okay.
Got to find find a teacher.
Yay! The first step is you got to find someone who knows what to do and ask them. Not me. I'm just finishing my homework, okay? If you guys follow me, you're definitely going to die. Sorry. So find a qualified teacher, okay? That's the key word. No, I know a couple things. I definitely haven't ended my death yet, so I can teach you some Tibetan words. How about that? Okay, B. Knowing that we could die anytime, we must quit our worldly work immediately and start our practice today. Does this mean quit your job right away and leave your lovely husband or wife or girlfriend and go to the mountains and go in a cave? Does it mean it or not?
No, it does not.
Incorrect. It might mean that. It doesn't have to mean that, but it might. Okay. All right.
Why?
If you can get enlightened faster by leaving everything and going living in the cave, you should go. That's why.
Okay.
Is that necessarily going to get you enlightened faster? No, not at all. It'll probably just get you dead quicker. Okay, for almost everyone. So, I personally wouldn't do it. I got a room with a bed. I can meditate all day. There's a heater in my house. I don't know. I don't like stepping on spiders, so why would I go in a cave? So, but for someone else, and there's been very famous meditators who have done that and been successful in their practice. So I'm not going to denounce the practice, but it's not necessarily the case that you need to do that. So what is Holy Geshe Michael translating here then? What does quit our worldly work mean? If it doesn't mean that necessarily.
That you focus more on your worldly activities than your spiritual activities.
Come on, that's weak, Aldo. Try harder. Focus more.
You do more things just for this life. You're not thinking about not even next life.
No, okay. No, if you do quit your worldly work, what does that look like? How about I should frame it like that? What does quitting your worldly work look like?
Renunciation.
Okay, renunciation, that's good.
Like
2 words, compound word, ends and starts with W.
world view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worldview. So if your worldview changes, does that mean you have to stop going into your office?
Not necessarily.
No, not at all. If you go to the cave and your worldview doesn't change, are you going to be successful? It is necessarily the case that you will not be successful if you go to the cave and your worldview doesn't change. Right? I mean, even if you have some fantastic karma, that fantastic karma would pop up as a worldview shift. So therefore, even if you don't go with the intention of changing your worldview would change if your karma shifted enough for you to be successful in your practice via the cave, right? In either case, you have to have a worldview shift. So quitting your worldly work doesn't mean leaving your job, leaving your wife, or whatever, family necessarily. It means stop being, what did Jesus say? Come on, I gotta teach you guys Christianity too. Come on. He said be in the world and not of the world. Get it? He said no. What? Worldview. Understand?
Be in the world, but not of the world.
Yeah. Understand where things come from. Am I on Earth in my mom's house in some small town in Pennsylvania? Yeah, I'm in the world. Does that mean I have to be of this world, like thinking like I come from molecules and I don't know, dirt and stuff?
No.
No, I don't. I know I come from karma and everything around me comes from karma. Therefore, I can change this world into a paradise. One ACI class at a time. Okay, good. And finally, since nothing else can help us, we must devote ourselves to our practice only. A man who's hiking many miles doesn't fill up his pack with a lot of junk he won't be needing. Yeah. Okay. Another Jesus quote. Jesus had a couple things right. All right. He said, it's easier to thread a camel through a needle than get a rich man to heaven. Okay. Does that mean if you have a lot of money, you're not going to heaven? No. But if you're attached to all that stuff in a worldly sense, right? You're not gonna have the mentality nor the practice necessary to do what it takes to overcome death, which Jesus also said was possible. He said, there are some amongst you who will not taste of death. He says the whole thing. All right, that's it. Any questions?
Do you have time? I think just now you mentioned you can shut up the dictionary of the number. So yeah.
You want to see it?
Yes, of course. Because yeah, that was my question actually.
Okay. I worked on it for a while. It's actually hard. Some of the numbers, they don't really exist anywhere. It's hard. I'll look it up. Okay, yeah, let's look. Hold on, let me still check the chat. Senderos? Aldo, what's senderos?
Paths. The
Oh.
3 principal paths.
Okay, 3 principal paths. Okay, yeah. Senderos means paths?
Yeah.
Like a small path or something? Like a small road is a sendero?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I never heard.
Like you would say, if you go to a mountain, you would say, vas por el sendero, like a path through a mountain.
Oh, like a little path.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh my God. I don't know how to find this. Let's see. Ooh, oh my God. Boom. One time. I love my life. Good. Oh, so here they are. Yeah. Drang. What's drang mean, Ying Hui?
Don't know.
I just taught you. Drang me. It means number. Number.
Okay.
These are the 60 places of the numbers, or the 60 positions. I don't know. Here they all are. Here's the Chinese too. You know, it says all 60 of them, but it doesn't have all of them in the Chinese, you see, or the Tibetan. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, but then it goes 10, 12, 14, 16, like that.
So
skipped.
chick is 1, then chu is 2. Is it?
Yep. Chik, chu, gya, tong, tra, boom, and then so saya is a million. This is 10 million.
Oh, okay, can.
Yeah. Because 3 is like 1, right? 1. Because here's 5. And here's the 5.
Okay.
Right? 1, yeah. 各位, 十位, 百位, 千位,
千位.
1 way. So like that. All right. Do you want the whole thing?
Yeah, can. Thank you.
I don't know. Is it gonna fit? Let's see. I'll try it in the chat. Okay. You gonna get it from the chat?
Okay, can.
It won't do it. I had a feeling it wouldn't. I will email it to you. Okay.
Okay. Then what about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in Tibetan? Do you have it?
Yeah. Chik, ni, sum, shi, nga, truk, dun, ye, gyu, chu. That's it.
Can I see?
Do you want it? I don't know if it's in here. It's not. Do you think the numbers are listed?
I'm not sure. If not, then never mind. I'm not
Check.
sure. I can...
Quiet. Ni. Sum. She. Nga. Shuk. Dun. Ye. Gu. Shu. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Welcome. Okay. And we're over time, which means next class will be 3 minutes shorter. Who's gonna do the mandala? Is there any other questions? I know I'm joking about the time a lot, but I don't care. Is there any other questions?
I have a question about the dictionary that you just
Oh.
that you wrote.
I didn't write it. I inputted it, but yeah, what is it?
Okay, yeah, that was a question. Like that was the biggest entry that I've seen. I'm just wondering if you wrote all the text, but okay.
You know, that's not the longest entry. That's the biggest number. I inputted all the Chinese and the English and the pinyin.
That means you found it somewhere else and you gathered it all together.
No, I input it. I typed it in from the text. It's a book.
Wow.
It's called The Great Dictionary.
Wow. Okay. Thanks.
Yes, 6 years. There's a reason it took 6 years.
Wait, what's the difference between input and writing?
Input is like, I have Charles Dickens' Tale of Two Cities, and I write, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, while looking at the book. And then at the end I say, it's a far, far better thing that I do. That's the end of A Tale of Two Cities. I don't know if you remember that. I do.
What was the last entry you made in the dictionary to finish it?
The last one?
Yeah, like it took, what was the?
Oh, I don't know. At the end, I didn't go straight through at the end because I got bored and I did the last 2 letters before. I don't even remember the last entry. I was blurry-eyed and exhausted.
Okay.
It's made a significant change to my eyesight. Let me tell you something. I don't even remember. I remember approximately where it was, but wasn't that significant?
It's not.
Okay, Harold's sleepy. He's gotta go to a party or something, so we gotta finish. Okay, everyone. So who's the mandala? Aldo?
Yep.
Okay. Listo?
Listo.
All right.
Sashi Buki Yuxi
Jukshin,
Tram Rirab Sangye Shindu Mikde Uwagi Drokum Nandak Shingla Shupar Shok Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami Kewati Kewo Sunam Yeshe Sunam Yeshe Leyung Dampa Kuni Toparsho.
Yay.
Thank you, Word.
Thank you, Word.
You're so welcome. So next week is our last week, of course, 17. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, we'll also have class. Not this Saturday, next Saturday will be class 10, and not this Sunday in 2 days, but in 9 days from now or whatever, will be a review for the final. Please come to all the classes in the final review so that you can finish all the homework and all the quizzes. I'm almost done all my ACI courses. I'm very excited. 10 years almost over. So please join the celebration of finishing. Geshe-la says, at the end of the Geshe exams, basically there's kind of a joke where you just forget everything after you get your Geshe. You're like, it's like burning your textbooks after senior year or something, okay? And then just going down the shore and causing yourself severe brain damage by the amount you party. Okay, so we're not going to party that hard, but we are going to celebrate. So please come to class on Monday, ready to do quiz number 5. Okay?
I'm not going to be able to make it on Monday, so I won't be able to lead a meditation on Monday.
What?
And I'm wondering, how do we sign up for the mixed nuts? Do we send an email to Nick?
Yes, probably. Go bother Nick. Tell him I told you to bother him.
There's a link on the website already.
Yeah.
Diamond Classics.
Which
There's a
website, Yinghui?
I can send to you later.
DiamondCutterClassics.com?
Yes. Yes, it's up already.
Oh, okay.
Great,
Yeah, I don't do that. Just, ask Nick or go to DiamondCutterClassics.com. Come to the Mixed Nuts.
Yeah.
You can watch me be overly competitive about knowing Tibetan words. Okay.
Word.
Okay.
Gracias, Jero. Gracias, Ana y Karina.
Gracias, Jero. Gracias, Ana y Karina. Gracias, todos. Hasta lunes.
Thank you, World. Gracias, Carol.
Bye. Have a good weekend. Buen fin.